you. Let me first start by asking you what made you come out of that anonymous space where you wrote on your Instagram, "Today I'm a survivor, I am not a victim."
First of all, I'm so happy to be here. And let me tell you, I'm very, very, very nervous. And I'm feeling so emotional right now. So thank you so much once again.
And thank you, and thank you. I know how difficult it is to come and speak. So I thank you, and I promise you that we don't have to talk about anything that you're uncomfortable about. So please, this is a safe space for you to be exactly who you want to be.
Yeah, so there is always this buzz on social media. I think right now that this is a tell-all. So I want to clarify that for them that it's definitely not a tell-all. It is because I'm legally binded not to disclose certain details of my case because it's sub judice, it's ongoing. You asked me about victim to survivor journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it happened in 2017, February 17th. So when it happened to me, my whole life has turned upside down. Um, and I don't know, I was constantly, maybe my mind was constantly searching for something or somebody to find and, so that I can put the blame on and I'll have an easy exit. Because it was like a constant chaos in my mind that why did it happen, and why me, and so many questions. And so I started finding, I was constantly searching for something to put the blame on so that I'll feel good maybe. So for instance, I was thinking that I lost my father in 2015. So for instance, I was thinking maybe if he was alive this wouldn't have happened to me. So maybe if I didn't have that shooting on the next day, this wouldn't have happened to me. So so many what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, and then I used to think that maybe it's like a long nightmare. Once I'll get up in the morning, that everything will be back to normal. So there's so many times I desperately wanted to go back to that time before it happened so that I could change everything, that my life will be normal. So suddenly I'm this assaulted actress, and this victim tag, and so many things altogether. So I was blaming myself. So everything, every time I think about it, every time I uh, think about this incident or what happened after that, it was like a loop. Like I'll come back to where I have started and I'll blame myself. So I was thinking, yeah, it happened to me. It's my fault. So I don't know, the blame game was going on for a very long time. And then my trial happened in 2020. And I had to go to the court for 15 days.
Hmm.
Those 15 days when I was in the court, it was a whole different level of, traumatic experience altogether. So when I came out of that court on that last day, the 15th day after 15 hearings, I came out of that court feeling like a survivor. When I came out of that court, I that's when I realized that I'm a survivor. I'm not a victim anymore. That I could survive this, and I am not just standing up for myself, but also for the dignity of all the girls who will come after me. So that's when I realized, or maybe my mind was finally convinced me that I'm a survivor, not a victim anymore. So that's how I explain it.
And you know what you talk about blaming yourself, that's a very common response that happens actually with those who have experienced abuse and harassment. Somehow we end up thinking that we must have done something. If we had done something differently, maybe we could have avoided it. So, you know, this is one of the most common things that happens with survivors of sexual abuse. But, you know, you were also taking on a very, very powerful man, and he was in the same industry as you. And while there are people who have stood with you, and I know after your Instagram post, for example, Mammootty and Mohanlal were among men who came forward and said, "We stand with you, Bhavna." It must have been extremely lonely. I know that the Kerala Women's Collective was fighting on your behalf, but your name was never revealed till you decided to own your own battle. Where did you find the strength to own your battle, put your name and face to it as you are doing in this moment?
Um, See, the 5 years journey was very, very difficult for me because you know how it is. The discussions and debates and all happens in channels when something happens. So when this happened in 2017, of course, a huge number of people were standing by me, they were supporting me. But then there is another group of people who are so comfortably sitting in some channels and talking about me. They don't even know me. Some random people saying things like, she shouldn't have done that, she shouldn't have, traveled at night, she shouldn't have. And it's just 7 o'clock in the evening we are talking about. So they were sort of, accusing me for what happened, maybe blaming me. And, and at the same time, there was this kind of a negative PR or like a propaganda happening in social media, that it says that it was premeditated, that I staged this and it's a fake case, that I made it up. I'm just faking it. And all that things, that was very, very, very painful to, see, to listen, to know. I was devastated. Like, something so unfortunate happened to me in my life, and I was devastated and I was broken into a million pieces. While I was trying to pick those pieces up and then to try to stand up and, to face the life again, these kind of things were like pulling me down again and again and again. When they were talking things like it I staged this and it was premeditated and hurtful things like that. And they were very hard with their words. They were very comfortable saying that. So sometimes I wanted to scream on top of my lungs to these people saying that my parents didn't raise me like that. That was like an insult to my parents, to my family. I am not a person who will do such a thing, that I'm not an evil person. So it was, see, my dignity was like already snatched away from me, yet I was victim shamed. And it was very easy for so many of them. It was, very easy for them to just pull me down again. So that hurt me really bad. I was very, 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 hurting. It was very painful. And I was not on social media during that time. Luckily, I think so that personal attack, maybe I dodged that toxicity bullet. I don't know. I joined Instagram in 2019. Even then, I did get some people messages asking me to, like, why don't you go and die? Like, why don't you go kill yourself? And how are you living like this? And, aren't you shamed, or, that you're going to pay for what you did? And all these things. I'm like, what did I do? So the journey was very, very tough. So when I Instagram on, like I said, 4 weeks back, like in January, I I just wanted to put it out there. I just wanted to
Mm.
let people know that this is what has been happening in my life, and I'm so grateful for those who stood by me. And when I put it out there, it was very, very, very cathartic.
Yeah. You brought up how you